Welcome back to WeArEuS, and I will be playing the role of your host for this particular. This isn't creepy. This particular session of violence-filled action, and that door is still open. All right. He's lucky he's not dead, and that these things don't respawn unless I leave the area. Okay, time we check the map. First, because I'm still thinking about this area, the Akasa marshes and that door. Yeah. Looking for the map of this area. So we are at number 6, the school. Not sure. Okay, this should be the front of it. To my right is where the chapel is even numbered, so I don't know. I don't remember if we can actually go how much space there is around it. It appears GeForce now really hates looking at that thing. And, I'm pretty sure everything but a couple of Andys are dead. I can run around pretty freely. This is only relevant for the stuff I picked up here. There's a guy above on this side, but I can't do anything for him at this moment, so. So going south from the school and turning right. But we can't, that doesn't make sense. This is the front of the school. It says, the map says this should be the chapel. And this should be, what's the name of this again? Well, it's circled, but it doesn't have a number. Oh, circled is the home of Caspian. We went there, but there was no one there. was it? Where did they say? I spoke to someone last episode, and they told us where everyone would be gathered. Yeah, this map does not seem to make sense, given where the front of the school is, based on what the map shows. It says that going right from the school should lead into the rest of the town, but going left from the school leads to the rest of town. Can't unlock that except from the other side. So I need to find a way around to that door. Maybe not. You mess with the gun, you get the horns. Keys to the pharmacy. Well, now that leaves me wondering where exactly the other keys we have go. Talju Tree of Truce. The Talju Tree of Truce, a majestic hazel pine planted in 1762 by Baroness Olena to commemorate the prosperity of Talju. A truly momentous occasion in any town's history. The planting of a tree of truce signified that Talju had grown large and prosperous enough to host its own week of peace celebration. The tree would become the centerpiece of the celebration in the very heart of the community. Beyond the week of peace, the tree would now bless the town's inhabitants with its holy acorns, a daily reminder of our commitment to Sethras. A stalwart symbol of enduring peace, this tree has shepherded the inhabitants of Talju through 6 wonderful weeks of peace. May it bless us with many more to come under his gaze. Erected in 1962, the 200th anniversary of planting. And now it sits here burning peacefully. Fiery, but mostly peaceful burning. What if I don't want to, though? I mean, we have the pharmacy key now, and that should propel us forward, but since we're here, I think this is the playground. That's not what I wanted to do. Is there anyone else in need of... That's unfortunate. Key to a typical house, apparently. Lucan Fran. Oh, that's not Caspian, but it's someone related to him. Pretty sure that's the kid in the shed. I think back at this school. Okay, so that's where we are. So we are all the way over at 2. I still need to look for the house close to the cemetery. Hopefully that is this place or this area. There aren't that many houses across from it. Well, from where it would be. Assuming the chapel ever hosted a graveyard in the first place. It could just not be related to this map at all. And I'm talking about a side quest I got from some guy just standing around back at Chelgen? Yeah. He wanted me to get his father's ashes since his brother apparently could not be bothered to do it himself. Despite living just across the street. I'm going to need access to that door, good sir. Despite living just across the street from the cemetery. Weird. The stun did not take. That second stun didn't affect them at all. Maybe there's a cooldown on it being able to do so? Which is dumb. considering that I can stun lock with the rage spike. Another symbol. I have no idea where these things go. I think this is the third shaped symbol we've picked up. There's the Iron Crown, there's another one I'm completely forgetting, and then there's this. And then there's the map of the Sinedra Mountains. And apparently there's something at Sinedra Forest. A map marked with a winding route through the Sinedra Mountains found on a corpse in Talju. And it's all a part of a good deed, apparently. Oh, no wonder why he was face-hugging the goddamn door. They don't know how they work.
What the hell happened here? I feel like I'm trapped in some twisted nightmare. I just want to wake up. Wake up.
Okay. Well, I left the door open, so you're not safe anymore. Have fun with that. I can open them. I do not possess the power to close them. So we got the key to the pharmacy and the typical house. If I go that way, it leads to the time loop, which means the school is that way. There's the house key that relates to the kid that's over at this school, but... So I guess we should try the pharmacy first. That's number 7. I don't imagine this will work here, but yeah. The computer, that's what you want. I don't know why, not yet. But soon. Come on. So where exactly do I use the pharmacy key? Town hall, that's where everyone was holed up. An exploration item consisting of 4 signal flares. An emergency flare used to mark a specific location. Light in the dark, good deed started. I don't remember anyone I've met come across needing signal flares. Since this is right next to the pharmacy, I figure I may as well try coming in here.
How could I have let go of his hand? I know he's out there somewhere.
This is either the kid's father or whoever the other name was he gave me.
Who are you? I'm Caspian. I taught history at the school here in town. Son Lucan is out there somewhere, alone and terrified. I'm not leaving this hellhole without him. Whatever those demons are, they don't seem to give a rat's ass if you're a Sab or a Palamist. They are making it impossible to search for Lucan.
I found your son. What do you want me to do?
Thanks, Zephyros. I knew he was alive. Take this walkie-talkie. Please give it to him. I'll handle it from there.
What do you know about this symbol?
I can give you a history lesson, but I need help.
So we'll deal with his son first, since that's going to be the primary issue. We are currently at Town Hall, which is number 1. Well, I was going to say if we turn right, we'd end up at Vanderland Trust, and that's true. Which makes it even weirder that leaving the school through the front gates didn't... That part is weird. So, there's the pharmacy, but for some reason we can't access that at all. Maybe we can get to it through the Photoshop? Okay, so let's plan the route properly. We're in front of number 1. If we go left until we hit... Yeah, we can go around the pharmacy, so that's fine. So we go left and then go left. I'm trying to get back to the home of Caspian Fran, because the key probably works there, and we have to go to the school anyway, so 2 birds, right? I'm trying to figure out if what I'm looking at along the face of the chapel, or church, however you'd like to refer to it. I'm not sure if I can go across there or what. I don't know. I don't understand what I'm looking at along that thing's front. Pretty sure I see an entryway with an arch over it. Okay, so there's stairs. Got it. Okay, so this leads to the chapel. Yeah, this cuts us off from Caspian's home. And I'm pretty sure that's the only way. Unless... Okay. There's that, but the door can't be interacted with. Oh, there. So this is where the key goes. This. Since it's locked, I don't imagine there will be anything inside.
Lucan and I are finally settling in. Now that the move to Talju is complete,
Belgium is the only place in Haiti that still celebrates the Week of Peace, even in stark defiance of it being outlawed almost a decade ago. I'm glad someone is preserving our heritage. I grew up celebrating the Week of Peace, and it has always fascinated me. What was its original purpose? Why did Yankel outlaw it in the 80s? I hope to find some answers here. It's good to be back among my fellow Palamists. There is a real sense of community in this town. I've also applied for a teaching job at the local school. I can see Lucan and I building a nice life here.
So we have here a letter to Caspian from the Public Archives of the National Library regarding a safe that has been put into storage in the archives. I don't know if I already touched it or not, but I want it if I have not. Sinedra Underground. So this relates to the safe. I must absolutely retrieve my safe from the National Library before they get rid of it. It's been years. I'm curious to see if I remember the combination. I think it has something to do with Lucan, his birthday, ID number. I'll have to try a few things and I pick it up. Okay, so that's why we have that. It's probably not going to be anything of interest aside from, like, stupid hat. Limbic cylinders. I seem to have misplaced the second cylinder. I distinctly recall having both in my possession just before departing from Maristan. Did I inadvertently leave it behind? May well have left some of my possessions near the Blood Queen monument. I've never heard of the Blood Queen monument, so but yeah, that mystery that popped up earlier relates to the safe back at the library. So I have to head there to the archives section, but for now. So we're looking at the back side. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense at all. Unless this is the actual face of the school. Yeah, that makes sense. So we were actually at the back of the school where that barn is at the top of the map. To the right of that barn is where the time loop has spawned. What did the guy in the garage need? It's been a while. It hasn't. No, it was a day. It's been a day since I last played, so I don't recall. Now that I've restored my frame of reference on this location.
I hope my dad comes to get me.
It should be a little easier to navigate the area.
Hello?
Logan, thanks, Centaurus. Are you hurt?
Dad! No, but I think Sam is.
I'm sure he's okay. Where are you?
I'm at the school in the maintenance room.
Okay, listen to me. Stay right where you are. I'm coming to get you.
I'm sorry I ran away, Dad.
It's okay, Lucan. The important thing is that you're safe. I'll be there soon.
Apparently this guy is rendered in real time during cutscenes, so it's pretty cool, I guess. Okay, we still have the pharmacy key to deal with. Now that I understand, now that I have a good frame of reference for where we are, we're along the back, facing the barn. We haven't gone all the way to the end. Barn. There's the first house, which is a light. 3 is Vanderland Trust. I don't recall there being anything of interest about this place. Get over to that guy. Oh. So all this time I was looking at this thinking it was a freaking lamp. Official orders for the Anlos Deimos Division to reinforce the Eligad Valley. It's just a thing. It's not a research item or an exploration item. So going up here. Okay, this puts us at the playground. If we go under the overhang and turn left and go straight. He's still here. That's kind of annoying.
Thank you for finding my son. It pains me to ask you for another favor.
What could you possibly want?
I found your son. What do you want me to do?
We need to get out of here, but those things are roaming around our truck in the parking lot behind the town hall. Get rid of the creatures, and I'll tell you about the symbol. Take this key. It unlocks the parking lot's security booth, right next to where the Sabs hung our brave soldiers. Thank you for finding my son. We'll go get him while you get rid of that horrible thing in the parking lot.
Zethros, grant us mercy. Deliver us from our sins, that we may walk under your gaze. Deliver us from the fire and brimstone cast upon us. Zethros, grant us strength. As demons walk among us, so shall we walk the path of righteousness. We shall answer the wrath of a lifetime of penitence.
So much fire. The heat. Shadows in the ashes. No, no, Cass, run, run! They chased me. I got cut bad. They have no faces. What happened? Where's my family? It's dark. I need to close up the bakery and go home.
Just out of curiosity.
Would you like a fresh pastry?
As luck would have it, signal flares do not help trauma.
My husband volunteered to stay behind when his Deimos division got called away to the south. He wanted to protect me. I'd suffered these birds 1,000 times to bring him back. Our defender. My hero.
Why did Zethros do this?
You are aware those are Spinian soldiers, right? Not God. He's not right in the head, is he, miss?
Just a couple flesh wounds. I'll be fine. If anything happens to Skyla or the baby, I need to get them out of here.
All right, time to kill a thing. It's been making that noise, asking for it, begging, pleading. For for me to give it the shimmy shaker. I don't have another name for the particular brand of cheese we're about to unleash upon this thing, but it's earned what's coming. Is that the lock? That one had a little bit of extra gas on it, didn't it? It seemed particularly miffed to have been resolved. What do you mean I can't touch this? There's no reason to come out of the other side, so... Oh, they have to take the truck first before I can get access to it. Because I'm certain this is the town hall. Yep. So last episode, I literally just walked right past the okay.
Thank you for clearing the demons. Now we can get out of here.
Now, tell me what you know about this symbol.
This symbol represents the matron saint of southern Argola. You may have noticed that some vehicles and flags have the same symbol. They belong to the Deimos division. They worship her. She was initially the subject of my thesis, but I kept hitting dead ends. It was as if someone had erased her from history. She has another name. The Blood Queen.
Who is the Blood Queen?
The Blood Queen has always been a symbol of resistance against Sabinian oppression. Several statues bearing her screaming face were erected all over southern Argola. If I were you, I would go to Maristan. The statue is carved directly into the cliffside next to the village. You can go inside her head. It's hollowed out. Strange symbols are etched on the stone walls inside. I never figured out how to trance them. Perhaps you will have better luck uncovering the secrets of this enigmatic monarch.
That was kind of the devs to put us out here. Now I don't have to spend my time walking all the way around the building again. What? Oh, it is the pharmacy. Surely there's some milk in here. Surely, there is some milk in here. I say surely. So we have to get this back to the guy out in the Akasa marshes. But surely, no frame of reference for what is supposed to go here. I have no information whatsoever as to what the code could be for that. I'm also really annoyed there's no milk here. It's probably at the whatever the other place is that we have keys to. Yeah, the general store. Oh, it's in Maristan, so that's where we're going next. So we have the keys for the general store there. Of course, I just said that's where we're going next. That's not exactly true. More like that's... Oh, we have the time loop to take a look at as well. Let's figure out where we are in this. We're near Vanderlyn Trust and the photo shop. So yeah, we're in between 1, 3, and 5. We go this way. That's not great. This way and then right. There's no telling if we'll even be able to solve this thing. Well, close it or not. That is weirdly shaped. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to let that play too as long as I did, but the microphone moved, so I had to reset its position. Well, it's not like we close these things in order to get anything out of them per se, so it's fine, I guess. Pretty sure everything else here is dead. Not everything is... Right, the garage. I was trying to remember it without looking at the name. The guy in there wanted something, and I don't remember what. We are at the back of the school. Let's find the face. So we are at the front of the school now. We head right, then just keep going straight. This way brought us to the train tracks. We head right, and we can walk through. did you want again?
I heard a truck driving past. It must have been the last of the survivors. Good on them for getting out. Me, I've got everything I need right here.
Are you going to be okay?
I'm a little heartbroken to be leaving the shop behind, but there's nothing left for me here.
What do you mean? You just said you were fine here. You had everything. What? He just said, I have everything I need here. Colonel. And now he's saying he has nothing left. Of course the names aren't sorted alphabetically. Of course not. It's not that would make sense or anything. Give me a map of the town, said that Caspian might be there. Heartbroken to leave his auto repair shop behind, but there's nothing left for him in Taoju. If I can use this to track people's requests. Well, not necessarily requests. They don't exactly ask anything of you. So nothing on the guy we found underground, trapped under rubble. We need to head back to the library, to the marshes. And, okay, so we'll head to the marshes first, give the guy his drugs, get that good deed taken care of. Then we'll head to Vissa Hills, talk to Old Man River by the name of Greg. I just scrolled over him. Yeah, Gildas. Oh, we'll head back to Vissa Hills to talk to Old Man Gildas and get whatever he's got to give us for all of the stuff we've done so far. You should probably leave. This place is sad. And I say that knowing full well that he was going to leave anyway. Where is he going to go? I don't particularly care. Couldn't fathom where he'll end up. But it's not like it matters either, so in the end, it's all the same. So, first stop is Vissa Hills. Not Vissa Hills, freaking Akasa Marshes. Did I pick up anything for research?
Find anything out there?
I don't know. Yeah, apparently.
Nice find. Let's run it through the database.
This should lead to something new.
Hey, Jelgin has a vault of forbidden knowledge.
Obviously. I literally could have told you that myself. Crying. Wow, this has it all. Weeping eyes, weeping nose. I'm trying to connect the third one to the first two in some way, but literally nothing. Eye of Horus, I guess, and wheat. Weeping Eye, Weeping Nose, Eye of Horus, and Wheat. So, we've got to go to Jelgin first. I don't remember where... I don't remember... Oh, there... Yeah, okay, I know where it is. Jelgin first. So, the entrance to the underground area where the door is located, or the vault door is located, is pretty freaking close, but it's going to take a bit of walking to get to. And while I'm here, I don't remember if this guy said where his brother is.
Blessings to you. I haven't seen another soul since the demons appeared. I've been trapped here for weeks. Despite the man, you see, my father recently passed. My indolent brother refuses to deal with the ashes. A home, located across the street from the graveyard, mind you. How lazy can you be? Sethrus, save him. It grieves me so that I cannot return home to gather his ashes. I would like to enshrine him here, on holy ground, among the Sabinian faithful.
I'll postpone considering his quest good deed until after visiting Maristan, which I'm not sure is going to be next or not. Probably should have dropped by Casa Martius just so I could craft more of the batteries for my weapon. Also, we have not resolved either of the two main puzzles in this location. I'm assuming the central one requires you to put them in some particular order. I'm pretty sure I didn't do it anyway. I mean, I have all of the pieces I need, but... Oh no, we got it. Good, good. That's very good. I don't remember where that goes, though. I also don't remember how I solved that. Let's go back and deal with the vault, though. Also, where is the... Right. Let me... Good God. It's fine. I don't have a key for this. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. There hasn't been anything inside of one of these vaults yet, so there's no need for me to worry about anything like that. Weeping Nose, the Eye of Horus, and Wheat. Tome regarding the Silent Safeguard. A page from a dusty tome speaking of a secret safeguard set in place. The 8 pupils of the eye. That is too many pupils in a single eye. This may end up becoming necessary for something later on, should I stumble upon whatever it's related to. Dusty tome recounting the establishment of these lodges. I'm trying to go over this quickly. I'm just skimming it to get a bit of why it's relevant. So like with the puzzle on the door that's outside of here, I can at least have a shadow of a memory of reading something related to it. In case I ever come across what it's... of admiration and loathing and vigilance and amazement. And this is part 2. We already have one of these. I made it myself. I already have one of these. Vanished parchment regarding vanishing. An ancient parchment expressing disbelief at a confusing disappearance. It is gone, vanished. The eminous shroud. Oh, that gigantic device they built. So big that if someone was standing on top of it and someone was standing on the ground in front of it, if one yelled at the other couldn't hear them. It was so large. And it's gone. Has vanished into the void. I laugh as I inscribe these words, though there is no mirth in me, for how may such a thing be true? How might a construct of stone and steel, greater than kings have ever dared dream, simply be missing? Worse still, our instruments speak of an unfathomable horror. Baram's limbic tone syncopators measure the sphere's propagation still. They mark its growth, its endless unfurling. How may this be when the shroud is no more? How may this be when our hands grasp at naught but empty air where it once stood? Yesterday, Haas did utter the most cursed words my ears have ever suffered to hear. I have not spoken to him since. He dares believe that the sphere itself had devoured the shroud whole. Madness. He was put down as meat, that one. And yet, even as I scorn his words, a shadow coils within my mind. What if he's right? I don't need another ranged weapon, because the spade of death serves us oh so well. I have mixed feelings on this, mostly because Glyph is not good. This is basically the spade of death, but blue. Because they call it a polearm, but it doesn't do polearm things. It has no polearm animations. It's not a polearm. It's a shovel. This item, okay, so we have a new active relic. Chalice of Ever-Flowing Turmoil. It's got a tap mechanic that requires lock-on with a 6-minute cooldown. Siphon an enemy's limbic energy to refill your own. It drains 30 per second, lasting 20 seconds, giving you a grand total of 600 energy that you could simply replace by using one item. What is the point of a relic that is outperformed by consumable items? Unless it works on every limbic entity near you. That has value. A lot, actually. Significant value. I guess for the Glyph glyphs that do damage to yourself while also dealing it outward, you could just employ, that it would depend on if those are tap based with their own duration. If they're tap based with their own duration, then you could run anything that applies healing. Not counting consumables, because there's that as an option as well. Though the healing consumables aren't something you can just readily resupply whenever you so feel like it. At least not that I'm aware of. So the relic isn't worthless. It's just not worth full. And I need to find the information related to this thing, because I know I have it. I'm pretty sure it's not in a miscellaneous item. I'm pretty sure. But I have to go over everything to make absolutely certain, and I'm not going to be doing that while recording, because that's boring. I mean, to me, it wouldn't be. I'd love to hear someone's thought process on looking through the information they've accrued so far in the game to figure out a particularly confusing puzzle that they do have the information on. I don't remember where this location's time loop is. Even if I did, I probably don't even have the amming for it. I'm going over here because I'm trying to remember what in the frick is down here. I can remember everything across the rest of this map, but for the life of me, I don't remember what's down here. Okay, coming down here led to something I took. Oh, right, the thing that I used to get into the Auriga, that's the word. I keep forgetting the name of that freaking place. It turns into so many freaking things when I try to remember it. Aurela, Arugula, Agula, but it's Auriga. The Auriga Museum. So we do have that done. That's good. We now have to head back to the APC, go to Akasa Marshes, and resupply. Not just the consumables, but the personal stock of a man in need of metformin. We did close the time loop in the Abbey. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we closed that. There was no switch there, and the switch I was looking for was actually just outside of it, or of the area where the time loop was. So, I remember that pretty clearly.
How can I help?
Everything needs an upgrade. Touch them all. This is limbic cost reduction.
Here.
The other one we have equipped. Yeah, I like that.
Talisman.
Sure, why not?
I'm good.
That you are.
Getting good.
I guess we'll do a couple of these, right?
Here.
We don't have anything with the massive... A weapon with the largest capacity is the two-handed sword, but I don't really use that a lot. I prefer the faster weapons, ones that allow me to react because the attack animation ends quickly. Speaking of weapons, yeah, we can do this. Still pretty far from max, but then our spade of death. Then the spade of grief. Okay, I understand now. Yeah, see, we already had the great sword with ecstasy on it, and it was already level 13. Apparently I liked it. And not just because I have the only good healing glyph on it, though it helps. Well, we don't have ecstasy on anything else, so why not? I really wish the sound effects were not nearly as loud as they are in certain cases. Like the sound effects when you're in the time loops, sound effects when you're doing stuff like this.
The talisman.
I hate how loud that is. Is there... like I said, I don't... Maybe it's just that the sword itself sucks and we could instead just use the polearm of grief. Because I really don't like how slow the sword is. Like, sure, it's strong. It's got a pretty good damage distribution across its combo. But the Spade of Death just feels so much better to use. Maybe if the sword only had 3 combo hits, maybe it would be alright. But I couldn't imagine that being the case. And our bar of life grows ever longer. Just like Mama used to make. Whatever that means. Okay, we need to see a man about drugs. Is he... No, they are all the way on the other side. God, I wish I had a skateboard or something for this guy. Like a portable bicycle, maybe? A unicycle, even? I mean, it'll look silly, yeah, but... beats hoofing it everywhere. I tried to jump for a second. I don't know why. But I did it, and I'm not too big to admit it. You know? Also, while I was in the shower, I was thinking about this area, trying to figure out where exactly the last pair of switches could be. Obviously ruling out places I've been. Places I know from memory where the switches are, such as in this area where these 2 guys are holed up. In the underground area itself where the door I'm looking to open is. In the Abbey. I don't really remember the other one. I know we have another one flipped somewhere. Yeah, so these 2 are definitely both active.
I still can't believe what happened. We grabbed what we could. I'm almost out of That's exactly what I need. Where did you get these? Well, thank you. You've probably just saved my life.
Not really. You've been here for days and nothing has happened to you. You are probably immortal. Good for you. Now, I can't think of a single reason why I wouldn't do this. There's no consequence for it. And it's the quickest way to get back to where I need to be. Simple, but effective. And from there, Vista Hills. Where we need to go visit Old Man Gilden for our just desserts. And you know, we've earned it. We worked very hard for a very long time, crushing time loops under our heels. I don't remember how to get to the watchtower, though. Thank goodness I'm already on the right track. We also need to go back to the underground forge. Because we have a limbic key for a coffer there. We also have a limbic key for a door somewhere in the underground area for Sinedra Forest. Though I don't remember it, so that's a little concerning.
Remember, whenever...
Have I helped enough Hadians?
The bare minimum will only...
We have a new passive relic, the Relentless Assault. War Master's Essence. Focus on your martial form, restoring health for each landed combo capper? I don't know what that means.
What's our status on time loops?
The calamity won't last very long thanks to you. Excellent work.
So, Waves of Grief, rank 2. That's not particularly interesting, given that its damage is in the low hundreds. Then we have rank 2 Wave of Wrath, which deals decent enough damage. My metric is the limbic shards glyph that we use to snipe enemies down after stunning them with the rage spike. The rage spike, not the rage spikes, the limbic shards do, I think, 1,260 damage per hit across the 3 shots per use. But this hits multiple times and it's basically a wall of damage. I don't imagine it'll change its effect in any way just because it's a new rank. At the very least, not at rank 2. But I am willing and perfectly happy to replace the other rank, the rank 1 we have equipped. I tapped the button once and we skipped twice. That sucks. I think that was a relic too. But knowing that, we know where to go to see. Here is a rank 3 Glyph. Dealing 400 damage per second. And it doesn't deal damage to you. So this deals 2,800 damage over the course of its duration. It's not great, but it's passive damage you can be dealing while using your weapon, guarding, and other things like that. So it's not bad. It's basically 2 casts of limbic shards. And from here on, frankly, from the point we acquired rank 3 limbic shards, or the rank 3 glyph of limbic shards, it has been my metric for actual good damage via glyphs. It has to be 1,200 damage per hit or nothing. Or at least 1,200 across its duration, or its damage is irrelevant. Especially since we're dealing with tier 2 and going forward, tier 3 Andes almost exclusively. Here we have a rank 3 ecstasy glyph. You traverse space at elated speed and embrace a targeted limbic entity, leaving it stunned for 6 seconds with overwhelming euphoria. It costs 300 energy to do that, and your maximum teleportation range is 40 meters. Here we have the Heart of Diarrhea, a passive relic featuring the Pulse of Life. Feel life's heartbeat, greatly enhancing the healing pulse ability. Isn't it already incredibly powerful? You don't need a passive relic for that. I mean, I get it if you're using something like the Greatsword, where you don't get that many hits in before you have to either... what word am I looking for? Before you have to trigger the healing pulse, or block because the enemy basically just gets a random super armor and you have to defend yourself or just lose health. So I guess it could be useful if you run great swords a lot and you don't like, as you shouldn't, just using the first hit to tickle them in order to avoid taking unnecessary damage. Because the first hit is never going to give you any worthwhile healing pulse value. Then we have a rank 2 masochistic delight. But it deals 2,070 damage per use. In a radius of 10 meters. I don't know if that's any good because I don't really have I don't have a frame of reference for it. Any of the glyphs that have a radius, I don't really use, except on the twin axes of terror, I believe. The mine that can stun enemies for like basically like the rage spike does when it hits. It's less of a stun and more like an interrupt, I'll say. Below, the rage spike is like a true actual stun, which makes it so much better. And that's just considering that the rage spike that we use is only rank 1. So this is going to be good too. It deals damage to us, which is keeping it from being great. But it's still good. Here we have Frightful Ambush, the rank 2 of the landmine glyph I was just talking about for the twin axes of terror. And it does deal 1200 damage at rank 2, so there's nothing to hate here. We now have a new active relic, the Knell of Waning Grief. I really wish this was actually a weapon too. Oh. Anyway, its use mechanic is tap based and it requires you to lock on. And it has a cooldown of 9 minutes, but in exchange it apparently offers an insta-kill. Banish a manifestation of grief from whence it came. I think this is to get rid of haze. But considering how fast they can just resummon the goddamn thing, unless it not only banishes but seals its resummoning, whether permanently or just for a set duration after the fact, it's not good. And from the label insta-kill, that just means you basically destroy it, which will take health from the enemy that summoned it, and any of the others attached to it. So it's not awful. I just don't see any value in it when you can instead just be killing everything and getting extra XP or whatever that other active relic did that I used to use before I got the XP one. So it has value, its value is too restrictive. Here we have Nightfade Elite, the rank 3 glyph that allows us to go incognito. Its duration is up to 30 seconds, which is great. I think the rank 1 was 10, which didn't feel nearly as long as it should. I like it. We have the rank 3 neutral glyph, Chromatic Shield. It offers you 80% protection for 20 seconds. Limbic energy condenses into a compact sheath, protecting you from incoming damage. So it literally just, I'm assuming, I don't know how the protection from your defensive gear applies, but I'm hoping how this works is, it's just a flat percentage reduction in the damage you take. Because having 80% reduced damage is incredible. Especially for the greatsword, whose greatest weakness is that if you try to commit to dealing damage with it, you eat dick. And I don't know about you guys, I don't like eating dick. A new passive relic, the Entropic Enigma, increases your XP gain apparently. Attune your weapon's resonance, increasing their XP gained. So you can combine this with the active relic and see some true growth. I was going to say economic growth, but I couldn't figure out a way to twist that into being related to XP. Here we have the rank 3 ecstasy glyph, Delirium. Acute delirium swells and grips limbic entities in front of you, eroding their stance. Stance damage is huge. And this works in a radius of 15 meters. For reference, the drone that we have deals about 100 stance damage. And I'm pretty sure I used it on a time loop guardian that had, I know it was a guarding Andy, defending Andy, guarding Andy, who had 3 stance bars, and just a single use of the drone broke all of them. I don't necessarily remember. I'm typically paying attention to the enemy rather than what the drone is doing, so I don't know if the drone shoots multiple times or what. But it says it says that the drone itself only deals 100 stance damage, and this deals 3 times that. So there's nothing to hate here. Frankly, I don't know. I don't know how stance damage. I don't know how dealing back-to-back stance damage to an enemy works. So I think I might actually swap to the greatsword and use that for a while just to test out stance damage, because it seems to me like stunning enemies has a cooldown. So I want to see if stance damage has the same weakness. And even while I say stunning them has a cooldown, the stun from the pseudo stun from the rage spike doesn't appear to have such a limitation, so long as you hit them before the end of their stagger animation. Okay, so not stun, it's not a stun, maybe a stagger or interrupt, something like that. But if you hit them again, even if they're in the middle of an animation, so long as they're not trying to summon a haze, you can send them right back into the stagger animation, and they can't do anything. We've tested it before. You hit them with the rage spike, they're basically staggered for the entire duration of whatever the duration may be, which allows you to just get free hits in. You use it again, more free hits. So I want to see if stance damage offers that same opportunity. Granted, this is a significant amount of limbic energy per use, but I don't remember how much the rage spike consumes, so there's also that. Then we have the grief glyph, rank 3, of shared pain. You suffer waves of sorrow, losing endurance in the process, but sharing the agony with nearby limbic entities and damaging them. The damage you take is 700 per second. The damage they take is 1,000. And if you have the, actually that is, hold on. That there's a bit of a feedback loop you can set up here. So there's a defensive gear that restores limbic energy when you take damage. This deals damage to you, which would then restore limbic energy. I almost flubbed it trying to say entity. If you equip the healing glyph while this is active and have that running, you're healing for more, dealing damage to yourself while restoring limbic energy, and dealing 1,000 damage per second. And so long as you aren't taking damage from the enemy themselves, it's free real estate. I don't know what the range on this is, But I like the idea of that feedback loop, and I wish there were loadouts so I could test that. I want, as it is, I want to test out the stance damage via the greatsword, because that thing needs all the help it can get in terms of damage windows. But I also want to test out the Spade of Grief. And I'm going to have to use XP items to bring that thing up so it's valuable against tier 3 Andes. And I want to test the feedback loop I just mentioned as well. But I don't want to get rid of the Spade of Death, because that has the glyphs that are necessary for my ranged cheese. A sub sandwich with cheese, maybe? I'm trying to figure out a name for that brand of cheese. We have the hamburger strat. I'm wondering if the one with where we just basically kill an enemy from long range because they're annoying. I'm trying to figure out a good name for that, and I'm wondering if we should go with a Subway sandwich strat. No, it's not good enough. See, the hamburger strat, that just feels really good. It's simple, it's quick as a name. But Subway sandwich, it's too much. So a Subway, why am I saying Subway sandwich? Submarine. Anyway, this is a new passive relic, assuming you haven't read it already. Focus on the enemy's vital points, increasing the limbic energy gained per strike. I don't remember what my current passive relic is. But this doesn't sound half bad. Okay, and we have a new Rage Glyph. It's a rank 3 hook, 4-second stun duration. This is basically the one that pulls enemies towards you. The problem is it doesn't stun everything. I used it on I remember I used it on a tier 2 defending Andy. And I don't remember the results in particular, but I remember the sense of depression, disappointment, all the big D's. Like dying shortly after. You also can't use this on enemies that are on an elevated position relative to you. You would imagine you would hook an enemy and then you'd pull them down to you. But it doesn't work like that. No. Because reasons. So this is one of the few rage glyphs that I'm just not particularly happy to see a rank 3 for. Like, cool, but it's too limited. And then we have Feed on Fear at rank 3. This is the terror glyph that allows you to heal from not just one enemy, but if all of them are close enough, you can feed off of multiple enemies and get healing from every single one at once. And the only thing holding this back was that the amount of healing it gave you was so low. But at 400 per second, well, that's just good. I was going to say great. I don't know why I didn't go through with it and swap to good, because that is great. Whatever the rank 1 does is just barely acceptable. But this this is going to be at least, at the very least, double, possibly as much as triple the value per second in healing. So I don't need to hold the button down as long. I have to deal with the enemy's nonsense as long while I'm trying to heal off of them, while dealing damage all the while. Yeah, I'm happy to see this one. We have acquired a new active relic, the Blessed Hand of Sethrus, which features a tap mechanic requiring no lock-on and has a cooldown of 9 minutes. Your weapons are guided by Sethrus, increasing the damage of regular attacks. I don't really need that. But imagine activating this after getting a parry. 500% damage increase. Yeah, 500%. But it's not like anything I fight lasts that long in the first place. Granted. The tier 3 Andes are a bit of a nuisance, which is why I use I don't have a good name for the sniping strat, but which is why I use the sniping strat so much. I know it's not particularly entertaining to see the sniping strat again and again, as we utilized it back in, I think it was Talgen. But it was the smart move to not end up dead over and over again. Especially considering that a lot of them seem to summon multiple haze now. Not just a single variety of haze either, or a single attunement, but other ones as well. Rage and grief and such. I don't need that. If I can just kill them before all of that, why wouldn't I? So this is, and it lasts 300 seconds. That is not bad. With a 9-minute cooldown, which is significant. But, I mean, if you just go and die, your cooldown's instantly reset. Now, if they didn't, that would be something else entirely. But it wouldn't really make sense, given the way the story the way the story works, the way death works. So, I do like this. I do like it. Thank you, Old Man River. Wait, we did miss a relic. I don't know if it was active or passive. This one? Yeah, no, that's Combo Capper. So it was an active? I saw something, but I don't remember what. We accidentally skipped one. And I could have sworn it looked like this. Yeah, it is this one. I remember, so I mistook this one. I forgot about this, the Panoptic Eudaimon. Okay, that's pretty cool, but not really reliable. I guess it's fine if you're running a low health build. Anyway, so here we have the Omen of Oblivion, another passive relic. It features the limbic power Final Flourish. A sense of finality seizes you, increasing the damage of power of combo capper attacks. Now, I know what you're thinking. What the frick is a combo capper? And I would have to assume that is the last hit of the combo for every weapon. So the Spade of Death, and all spades like it, feature a, 4-hit combo. The final hit for the one we currently have is about 500 something, just shy of 600 damage on the fourth hit. So it apparently doubles the damage of the fourth hit, which with the sword would actually be something to behold. The swords have really good combo finish, well, fourth hit damage. So doubling that would actually be disgusting. And yeah, the final hit for this one at the fourth combo, 1100 damage, taking us up to 2200. That is not bad. So I wanted to try. Frick, I didn't mean to replace. That's weird. Okay. So we had the twin axes of terror, but at least I can differentiate them from the other one by them being grade 5. So I want to change the glyphs on this one. Yeah, I think I like this being up here. So traverse space, revel. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, we like to revel. Rank 1 deals 100 stance damage and costs 230 limbic energy. Yeah, why in the world wouldn't you use the rank 3? You can basically just break your enemy's knees at will. And by the way, an enemy that's stance broken just basically lies there. Which is always good, because if they're not doing damage, they're not doing damage. That's not the way that should have gone, but it'll do. I don't think I'd mind. Oh no, we want the defensive one that we just got. That'll cut down on the damage we take for 20 seconds. And hopefully in that 20 seconds we can just give it to them. That's fine, I guess. We need to add one of the ones with the sparkly on top. Actually, first, let's add the healing. That's not it. Wait, the healing glyph is only rank 1? And it restores 1,000 per second? It's already so good. It just... 1,000 per second feels so good. It's not that long. Man, that is... I wish I had more of them, actually. So, what was the feedback loop we were talking about? That's knockback. That might actually be useful. So this is the pool. Might want this on the other button. Yeah, this is the self-damage. And then we add the pool to it for a grand total of 2,800 extra damage that we don't have to physically commit to animations for. We just get the damage for these two for free, and we're free to do the animation for the healing. while these two do their work and we passively melt whatever's standing in front of us, next to us, behind us, however things may end up. What did I want to test with this? Right, the knee braking, but I really actually want to test the feedback loop first. So vanquishing an enemy, restore your health and stamina. Wait, so upgrading your defensive gear actually increases their effects. And I'm pretty sure we can upgrade to grade 5 now. Well, that makes me all sorts of moist. Wait, which one do we want to replace? No, we want to keep that one and get rid of this one for the sake expending. That's the one we have. Strikes against you. So with this one, we get 150 when we take damage. Let's head back to the APC and then to Akasa Marshes. I want to upgrade some more of these things if we can. I don't know. Like, I want to upgrade the two relics that the two defensive gear that we like using, but I probably don't have enough shards for that right now. So for next video, we probably won't be going to Manistan or whatever. Maristan, that's what it's called. Very close. We probably won't be going to Maristan next episode. We'll be going to the Plains of Mist instead, since we already started out there. Got everything that was outside of the door killed, and I mean, why not do it all again, just for the extra XP? Speaking of which, since we have which one equipped? Okay, good. We have the Spade of Grief equipped, and we want to use these. I unfortunately can't use it. I don't need this anymore, at least not right now. Ooh, this one's at 16. That is rough, buddy. That's okay, that's why there was not significant value per use. Oh, this has to be upgraded. I wish that I had known that beforehand.
What needs my attention?
Upgrade. Yeah, that's fine.
Here.
And then defensive gear. So the ones we like can't be upgraded further than 4 right now. And not because we don't have the resources for it. Okay, yeah, so you can see here that upgrading it will increase the limbic energy gain per hit by 50 up to 200.
I'm getting good at this.
You're all right. Calm down. Honestly, for testing the feedback loop, we don't really need to increase this thing's level. I also don't have anything to use this on. There are Andes out towards the Abbey, or the monastery, that I haven't killed. Couldn't be bothered. They're only rank 2, but they should be durable enough to prove the point, so I don't really want to, but I guess we can go out there and deal with that. Across the rickety bridge. Oh, we have to give... Crap, I forgot about the other good deed. We have one more we could have turned in first. That upsets me. I forgot all about the guy. Yeah, this way. Glad I remembered, but I hate that I remembered after we went to Vista Hills. Probably just go ahead and save there. That way, if necessary, we can just go ahead and drop dead. Yeah, this way. And immediately teleport to a save point to go back to the ABC. Hey there, bud. Got a delivery for you.
Yes, yes. Long range. Good. Come back later. More research. Let's gather more data. More pictures, close-ups. Find the patterns. Yes. Come back later.
Helping him is probably going to turn into something related to this board. Couldn't tell you what, though. So let's go ahead and test my little theory. See how effective it is at taking life while keeping me healthy. So the damage over time pool is on the square. The self damage is on good lord. Okay, we have another we can... Actually, let's try it on this guy. and turn it off early. Good. Apparently I pressed the button at such a precise timing that the skill had already canceled just as I was pressing it and turned it back on again. I don't think that's what I want it to be. Oh, that's what it does. It hits them with any enemy hit by the wave that is released by this, then just bleeds for 7 seconds. Okay. I thought it would actually drop a pool. That's what I was looking for. So I thought the effect didn't actually go off. So yeah, looks like the feedback loop is not only real, but actually very freaking good. I wonder how useful it'll be against tier 3s. But let's shatter some kneecaps just to see. No dice. What's it like to have knees, bro? Shut up. Okay, so breaking enemy kneecaps is effective. Color me surprised. No, actually there was no doubt whatsoever. Not enough energy. Naturally. He's coming. Ooh. Ooh. You okay, bro? Use one of the other ones that are more interesting. Hit me with your balls. Hit me! Why are you like this? So I can't cancel it. There we go. Wow, that does actually nothing. Granted, he's only a tier 2. What is that, like 15% of my health? You realize this isn't working, huh? No? Just reevaluating your options? Didn't expect that to hurt that much. I wonder. Oh. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. 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 We can have 80% damage reduction that works even against damage we do to ourselves. That then feeds us more limbic energy despite the damage itself being reduced, because it doesn't matter how much damage is being done. The only thing that matters is that we're getting hit. So even if the damage is a mere tickle, we still get 200 energy back per hit. No, that is so gross. If it weren't for the fact that we need healing, we could. I see a new victim. Not that guy, screw that guy. This other one. What if you stop that? Remember how much I hated dealing with these guys before? So it looks like shattering kneecaps is something you can do back to back. How much do you do normally now? Where's your damage at? Oh right, we restore health when, or limbic energy when we take damage, so I could have just sat here. Goodness, that hits twice. That explains a lot, actually. Stop that. I don't like you doing that. No, this is so gross. Oh no. I don't think we'll ever need another. Well, I say that, but we're only dealing with tier 2 Andes, and that guy just took like 15% of my health again. So, yeah, it's got to be something above 10. It's easily 15 to 20% of my health just gone like that. 80% damage reduction. Good lord, that is... If I could find a way to just have passive health restoration. I don't think we even need this anymore, which opens up being able to use Cyrene's Requiem, for example. But this is only relative to attacks with your weapon, which is fine, because with 80% damage reduction, you can just throw those out for free and hardly ever be punished. Again, this is just from testing against tier 2 Andes, not the tier 3. The tier 3, we have to respect, at least for right now, until these things have been proven to be effective against them. Healing Pulse, Combo Cap, Endurance Restoration, restoring health for each combo cap, so for every final hit of the combo landed, equal to your damage. The Spade of Death deals 1137 damage with the 4th combo hit. I think that's about almost half of my stamina. No, not with as large as my bar is. It's not. Let's actually test that out. Ooh, and then we can have, if we really want to go in on the glyph damage, we can basically double our limbic bars for everything, and then just that is oh, it's so gross. And then all we need, since we likely wouldn't even need XP since we technically stopped using the weapons themselves. Again, assuming these strats are viable against tier 3, we could stop using the XP boosts active relic and get something that does anything else that would actually be of value. So, let's see. Where are you? Come here, let me hit you. Not enough. I need more test subjects. Wake up, boys and girls. Also, I forgot. I completely forgot we're using this one with its 600 damage fourth hit. This one has 2,000 on its third. Does it account for hitting multiple enemies? Yes. No, it's so gross. Oh my god. That alone makes using the greatsword viable. The protection plus the greatsword with the healing on the third combo hit, because since it only has 3 and you seem to have slightly higher stagger resistance while attacking, we have some other ones over here we can try. They're all the way, they're pretty far though. Are they on this side? I'm not sure they're on this side. Oh, these guys are all going to stay dead from now on. I broke the time loop in there. They're on the other side, all the way. Oh man, this is actual. I know the video is going on way longer than it should, but I have to test this, right? Down this way. I have to see. Wait, I think these Andys are all dead now because I broke the time loop. Oh, that. Well, there's a thing over here, so it's not too bad. So leveling this thing. Wait, how much would it actually stand to gain? We only have 2 of these left. We're going to use it anyway. This thing gained 286 damage on the third hit. My faith in greatswords has been restored. This relic alone, this passive relic alone, tremendously increases the value of the greatsword. Its effectiveness. Oh, and then that's without even counting on the 80% protection, the plus 80% damage reduction that we get. Well, I say damage reduction, but I mean it is, right? I don't know how the numbers work out, because remember, our defensive gear also provides what is called, oh, that's damage absorption, while this is giving us protection. So our defensive gear just eats 40, as they are, the defensive gear is just eating 40% of the damage I take. Just takes it makes it not work on me. Is what I'm assuming that is supposed to mean. And then the 80% protection is just damage reduction. Just a flat 80% damage reduction on top of the fact that they're already doing 40% less damage to me. Or 40% of their damage is being ignored. And here I was thinking that the game was kind of weak on the glyph side, and then I just stumble upon just some really gross bit. I don't again, we only tested on tier 2s, so I'm trying to keep my excitement in check until we get back to an area with tier 3s. We'll be heading to the Plains of Mist. And that's where we'll end the video. But I'm trying to curb my excitement here. I know these things will be like at least 25% less effective against the tier 3 Andes. But even if it is that, or even more, in terms of losing effectiveness, ugh. Just the fact that the damage reduction works the way it does, and we now have 40% of the enemy's damage just vanishing into the ether. We have the feedback loop that'll keep us... Wait, does the... Hold on, let me put this stuff on, and then... Does the feedback loop... What was that? Oh yeah, I want to see... Okay, so you can't switch off of the weapon while this is active, which is understandable. Okay, I can understand that. I can understand that. The power is coming from the glyphs on the weapon. And then I guess it sort of is acceptable that the protection lasts even if you swap weapons. After all, you only have so many slots on a single weapon, so having a buff to yourself that you can apply from one and then swap to another, it makes sense. Oh right, I also need to swap out the glyphs on the twin axes of terror while I'm thinking about it. Also on the spade of death. Kind of upset that I ended up wasting the 3 or 4 XP items on this when I didn't really need it. Rage Spike is still rank 1. It only costs 190 limbic energy, but it staggers enemies for so long. So this is the one I want to replace. And then that's all we wanted with that one. This one, 10 seconds, costs 150 limbic energy. That's... Yeah, so this replaces... This was healing us for 200 per second and dealing negligible damage. The cost at rank 3 is not... It's 15 extra cost per second. Doubles the healing. I think it does 200 damage, 200 something damage per tick. Max rank here. Yeah, 250. Yeah, that is a significant increase. We don't really have any... Oh, right, we can replace it with its rank 2 variant, What was its original damage? 500. Well, we weren't really using it for damage anyway. I wonder how much better this is at rank 3. Well, rank 2 deals 1200, but its charge time is way too long. I mean, I guess it's okay in theory, considering it can go through enemies. But I still don't really like it. This is a 5-meter teleport range. The one we have is 10. I mean, I guess that's good. Puts distance between you and, say, really annoying haze. Alright. Wow, and then we can basically just use the... Dang. That opens up some really absurd combinations of dirty things we can do to enemies. We can break kneecaps in an area. Then we can switch to the Spade of Grief. Activate the feedback loop. And then just melt them. Granted, again, I'm thinking in terms of what is effective against tier 2 Andes. Next episode, we'll see if that's as viable against tier 3s. But for now, I've got a video to end. Oh, but it's been such a good one. Oh, so freaking good. I think we'll just go ahead to the Plains of Mist. I was considering stopping here and then just going there afterwards, and we'd start the next video from there. But I don't hate ruminating on the possibilities of these builds. Of the two, the feedback loop is probably going to be the weakest. Oh, we do have means to deal damage to ourselves with the greatsword. But I don't have healing on it. And we need the knee breaking in order to give ourselves breathing room. Though, do we really need breathing room if we have 80% damage reduction? You have no idea how tempted I am to go and kill that guy. I just fight him to the death with these. I cannot wait for next episode. It pains me because I know next episode I'm not going to remember either of these builds. I'm going to look at the weapons I have and I'm going to be extremely confused because I've been running the Spade of Death and the Twin Axes of Terror for so long that I know what to do when I get into a fight. And especially looking at a tier 3 Andy, my first inclination is going to be Sniper Strat. Best idea I have for a name. Placeholder, of course, but if either of these strategies we've come up with recently for these two weapons we have now are viable, we may not ever actually need cheese, which is pretty good because cheese is expensive. Granted, the glyph costs for the two builds we have in mind or are set up for currently aren't necessarily cheap, but they pay for themselves as long as I'm taking damage and not in danger of dying immediately at any point in time. So we have That stuns all of the enemies, gives you damage. This. It's a 9-minute cooldown, but if you're really hurting for limbic energy, this would be a very, very good way. And instead, I want to keep this because we're going to be using these weapons that are rather under-leveled. And since they're not going to be as effective as level... Well, this one will be fine. This one will struggle until it's around level 16, like the Spade of Death. So having double XP to feed these guys at any point in time is not bad. Nevertheless, I hope you guys have enjoyed yourselves and me geeking out over these two ideas I had while we were going through the list of the glyphs and relics acquired from Old Man Gildan back in the Tower Vigil? I don't remember what it was called, but back where he resides. Because I know I did. Everything up to that point, and then setting up this build, or these builds, since it's two separate builds across two different weapons that actually sort of synergize with one another, mostly only because of the protection. But just having the protection turns these two separate builds into a synergistic pair. And like I was saying, everything up to the point where we discovered these two builds was good. I enjoyed all of it. Talgin, going back, finding the items in the pharmacy that let me go back to Acosta Marshes and take care of the stuff there. The good deed, that's what it was called. Closing the time loop at Talgin before I left. Being able to do all of that stuff felt really good. Felt like we had accomplished something this episode. And then we visited Gildan. And I'm hoping this stuff is just as broken here as it was against the tier 2s. I know the damage is going to be quite a bit higher, but even then, I think it's going to be within a manageable range. So I'm really looking forward to it when we come back and put these things to the test. And so I hope you guys are going to join us for that wild ride. And so, with all that said, we will see you. And because I didn't mention it earlier, the next episodes will be next week. Next time.